issue that's arisen. I looked at an article just yesterday, actually, on the EcoForest website, which I commend all of you to look at. It's by Mr. Black. It was published in 2002, and it's called Conservation Covenant, Long-Term Protection of Forest Land. And what he does is he makes out a case how privately held forest land can be protected through conservation covenants. And he gives a number of actual examples here in British Columbia. And most interesting of all, he uses Merv Wilkinson not as and Wildwood not as an example where conservation covenant was used, but as to the type of situation ecoforesters find themselves in where conservation covenants can be used. In other words, he takes Merv as a typical ecoforester who comes to retirement. He wants to keep the land and keep the canopy and keep the ecoforest alive. How is one to do it? And the answer is conservation covenants. Now that comes from a man that, from an article that's on the EcoForest site. And TLC is in the position where we've got an offer on the table that's been accepted, it's going to court. And the fact is, you have to understand that TLC, I was on the board when we entered into discussions, first of all, with Mark Randon, and this goes back some time. And before we even started the negotiation process, we wanted to make sure he was the one that could carry forward Merv's vision. And we went up to his property, and John Shields was there, and Fred Newhouse was there, and I was there, and I can't remember who else was there. And we spent a day walking around his forest, and we came away with the feeling that this man is the living, breathing embodiment of Merv Wilkinson himself. He has been doing ecoforestry, I'm talking about Mark now, for the last 25 years. And he treads very lightly on his property in terms of, and makes sure that canopy is maintained, and he practices all of Merv's tenets of forestry practices, from single tree selection to not going over the annual allowable cut. And so when we entered into long-term negotiations with Mark, which culminated in a management plan and a covenant, we made sure, damn sure, it conformed to Merv Wilkinson's vision 100%. And we also made damn sure that the covenant gave adequate enforcement protections to ensure that whoever comes after Mark is going to carry on Merv's vision. So I think in a nutshell, that's all I've got to say.